What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's happening here in our country on a daily basis. In this video, as you can see here, the IRS has announced sending out checks of an average of $1,232 to millions of Americans. Here is who's getting them. We'll go over that here in this video. Millions of Americans getting checks of over $1,000. That's right. And we got a lot to discuss here as the week has started off with a bang. So let's jump right in here. And if you're new to our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. New videos come out here every day, so you don't want to miss out. Subscribing is completely free to do so. I'll keep you up to date here. And thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. Here we go. The stock market is off to a jump here already today, as it was here at the end of last week. This is because consumers and investors, also seniors here, people with their 401ks, their IRAs, and their pensions, see inflation and spending cooling off in the year ahead. Remember, inflation, according to the Fed and according to the government data, has been cooling off for several months now, but the Fed keeps raising interest rates. Yeah, so according to a new data here, and this has sent the stock market up pretty considerably here to start the year. The Dow Jones stock index is up almost 1,000 points here since the beginning of the year, which has only been a few days, since January 3rd. So, and remember that we had the weekend here. So it's only been a couple trading days here. We're up almost 1,000 points. We started here at 33,000, almost 33,000 even, 33,060. And we're now up over 33,800, up over 200 points here so far today. So the stock market having a pretty good jump here this year. Remember that last year in 2022, the S&P 500 index, which is basically the top 500 companies in value of the United States, was down 19.4%. So it looks like 2023 here is hopefully primed for a good jump, and just going back to normal would be, well, 19, almost 20% gain. And actually, when you go back up, it's actually a slightly higher gain just to go back to normal here. So hopefully we'll see a large gain here in 2023. I'll keep you up to date here. Remember that over 50% of Americans have money in pensions and 401ks, IRAs, and the stock market here. So this is a big thing here. So hopefully we'll just get back to normal, which will be a large gain for a lot of people here. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. One thing I have been seeing a lot in the comment section is people saying, why are gas prices rising? And I haven't seen that here lately. And yeah, that is unfortunately, we are seeing this here in 2023, gas prices rising pretty significantly. Hopefully this doesn't continue, but take a look here. Yeah, you can see here the national average gas prices in the US rising. Of course, this may vary based on what state you're in. Let me know down below in the comment section what city and state you're in. You can read the comments below as well to kind of get an idea of this. But you can see a week ago, we were at 321. Now we're at 328. So gas prices rising here, almost a penny per day. Not a good trend. We've been seeing this here going up, up, up. Not good. And yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts around this. This is a reversal of the trend when gas was going down. And now we're seeing the opposite effect take effect here. Yeah. And hopefully we don't go back to where we were here in June when the average price of regular gas was $5.01. $5.01 back in June. This wasn't even just for California, guys. This was for the regular price of average gas in the US. I remember parts in California were over $7 a gallon, certain places here. And you can see here diesel was $5.81 on average. And I know it was really more expensive in a lot of places here because I've seen in Ohio here just recently that diesel was $5.99 in Ohio here literally a few weeks ago. So um, prices can vary wildly by states here, and they're just gas price gouging to the hilt on diesel. Diesel takes less refining to make, and they just charge more because of the diesel shortage that these gas companies say they're just not producing enough of it. They're just artificially inflating this diesel shortage. I feel like they're barely producing enough of it for the country, and same thing over in Europe as well. They're having diesel shortages over there. There's actually some places where they don't have diesel. They've actually run out of it partially in Europe. So, and this keeps the prices of diesel very, very high. They've just basically, and then this is a real problem. I mean, we have a war going on in Ukraine and Russia. It's almost kind of like a mini world war going on over there. I mean, it's literally we're 2 steps away from nuclear bombs being used. I mean, they've literally threatened nuclear bombs multiple times. I mean, Putin has threatened the United States, the United Kingdom, and basically almost half the world with nuclear weapons, saying we'll use them if we have to. I mean, how many times has he threatened nuclear weapons? So, and remember, if war happens on a larger scale, one of the main things they need is diesel, for half of the military equipment, tanks and things like that. And we just don't have it, which is not a good thing. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Okay, next up, stimulus updates. IRS announces average payments of $1,232 sent out to millions. Here is who is getting them. The American Rescue Plan Act provided $1,400 stimulus checks to most eligible adults and dependents. But it did much more than that. In fact, some provisions of the American Rescue Plan Act are continuing to pay off for taxpayers even today. Yeah, did you know that? On Friday, January 6th, 2023, the IRS announced that it will be sending around 12 million tax returns to Americans. Wow. In fact, this other headline here actually says that it would be 14 million tax returns. So somewhere in there, 14, 12 million checks going out to Americans here. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of people. These payments will go to individuals who are eligible to get extra money back due to the American Rescue Plan Act. This was the third stimulus check package. These refunds total around $14.8 billion, billion with a B, so almost $15 billion going out to Americans. And the average amount eligible will be $1,232, which is a lot because was the first stimulus check amount, $1,200. So a little bit more than that, actually. Remember, the second stimulus check amount was only $600. So it's more than the first stimulus check or the second stimulus check. So pretty good. Here's why the IRS is distributing this money, along with some details about who may be eligible for a payment in their bank account. Yeah, I guess that's pretty important, right? Why the IRS is sending out more money. When the American Rescue Plan Act was signed into law by President Joe Biden in March of 2021, so remember that bill was passed only by Democrats and not a single Republican voted for it. But the first 2 stimulus packages were passed by both Republicans and Democrats. So that's kind of where we're going to be at here now today, with Republicans and Democrats in charge of Congress. So stimulus package 1 and stimulus package 2 was with Republicans and Democrats in control of Congress. So that's kind of where we are back again here today. So we'll keep you up to date here on this. And if you've been watching my channel, you also know here that we already have states announcing state stimulus checks, property tax relief checks, inflation checks, and utility checks. Yeah, so there's kind of got the some reflections here. Um, but yeah, there are checks like this already going out here. We just had a $900 check announced here. California has 23 million inflation relief checks going out here for that state. There's going to be more in 2023 because we already have states doing this here and federal programs here probably as well. Yeah, so one of the key provisions of that bill involved excluding some unemployment benefits from taxation as well. Specifically, up to $10,200 of unemployment benefits paid out in 2020 would be excluded from taxable income for each spouse if a couple filed their taxes as married filing jointly. This exclusion was applied for those with individuals under $150,000 or $75,000 per person. Remember, the average income is in the 50 some thousand dollar range per person nowadays. So this is really just it covers people with just a little bit more income than average. So, really pretty okay. With the income limit applied regardless of tax filing status. Many people had already submitted tax returns before the American Rescue Plan Act was passed, and as a result, they had already declared this income and paid taxes on it. Yeah. The IRS opted to review tax forms submitted prior to the passage of the American Rescue Plan Act to determine who had been affected by this law change. On January 6, 2023, the IRS indicated that it had conducted its review and corrected 14 million returns. Yeah, which is now resulting in refunds totaling $14.8 billion being sent to 12 million people. Wow, it's a lot of people, right? So who is eligible for this money? Anyone who paid taxes on all of their unemployment compensation earned in 2020 could potentially be entitled to money back from the IRS after this review. The IRS also indicated it made corrections to the tax returns for other issues. Okay, so for other issues here as well, relating to the earned income tax credit, which is also known as the adult tax credit for low income adults, or other COVID related stimulus checks, or other American Opportunity Tax credits. So it does include these other things here as well, not just the unemployment $10,200 basically income that was made tax free. Okay. So it includes these other things here, as you can see here as well. The IRS found most of these issues and is processing refunds automatically, but it also said in its news release that taxpayers entitled to these funds who didn't have their returns corrected will need to file an amended 2020 return to get their money. This can be done with online filing software and should be done ASAP to avoid leaving funds on the table. Now, as you can see here, one of the reasons why this took basically over a year or so was because the IRS is very short staffed. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nobody that's really a fan of the IRS. Does the IRS have fans? This is anybody like a yay, go IRS? But the reality of it is that they're very short staffed, and we all know, we've all seen the headlines here that the IRS is going to be hiring 87,000 new people. Well, the reality of it is they've actually hired very few so far. Okay, it's a process. They got to do this. They got to fire. They got to hire the correct candidates, and the other thing is that they really don't pay that well either. Yeah, so yeah, this is it's kind of a problem here because other like corporate jobs and actual businesses actually pay better than the IRS, and it's not a government job. So this is the problem here. The other thing with the Republicans coming in here, Kevin McCarthy, who's the new Speaker of the House, has already said he wants to axe that provision here and not to let them hire new people. So we'll be seeing here, but this just kind of shows you how long it takes the IRS to get something done on a larger scale. So if you've been waiting for your tax refund or something like this, because the problem is if you file for your tax refund and everything goes easy peasy, you can get your refund in a timely manner. But if anything like amended tax returns or something like this happens, or if there's any type of error at all, that's where you end up waiting a long time. Look at this, a year or more. I've had so many comments from people in the comment section saying, Jimmy, I've been waiting for my refund for over a year or many, many months. This is the problem here. So it's like, yeah, people don't want to be audited by the IRS, but also if the IRS owes you money, owes you tax return, or if you have to call the IRS, it's a nightmare. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where it's like we need people at the IRS to actually like process our refunds, give us our money when they owe us money, or actually be able to talk to somebody when you have a question or you need to call them for whatever reason. But on the other hand, like we don't want to be audited. So it's like, yeah, you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis, because it seems like every day there's something new that you need to know about. So if you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and then the bell icon after you subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date here with everything you need to know about. And thanks so much for clicking the like button, and you can share these videos as well. It helps out our YouTube channel, and I'll keep you up to date here. Here's some videos you can watch next. Here's a new video about $900 stimulus checks going out, and here's a new video about some good news for Social Security. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.